Welcome to Mix and Plants and Crafts. My name is Rachel and welcome to my end of month video. Can't believe it's the end of the month. Can't believe it. This is the second episode of this new series that I started last month where I talk about the highs and lows of my plants at the end of the month. Also going to be adding something extra to this video, and for the rest of videos to come, I am going to be featuring 3 plants that I'm going to be highlighting, plants that I basically can't stop staring at. And it's basically monthly favorites, but I'm just going to feature 3. I'm also going to be adding the highs and lows of the month and what's up and coming in December. For my plant highlights. Okay, so for my first plant, I'm going to share my Hoya linearis with you. I cannot believe how well it's doing. For those who follow me on Instagram, and I did do a repot on this plant on my channel, just the Hoya linearis repot. It was a very short video. I got this plant as I think 4 cuttings, and this is how much it's grown. It is another fast growing Hoya for me. I've also propagated this plant and given away cuttings before. So, I have multiplied this plant to somebody else, but I love this plant. So why I'm featuring this plant on here this month, not just because of the growth. This was in my IKEA cabinet here for the longest, and it was sitting on this second shelf right in there. I noticed that the grow light was burning the leaves. So I have some burnt leaves here. I figured it was time for me to move it. And the plants, the stems that are now growing, they're not going to drop yet. And it's just so close to the grow light. I just didn't want. So I had to move it. I moved her right here. This is where I moved her. So she's right here. Can't really see her. Right there. That is her new spot. She has a light up there and a light right there hitting her. So I'm hoping she does well. I just moved it right out of the cabinet. I didn't like acclimate it or anything. Yeah. But I know that the Hoya linearis can take a drop in temperature. So I'm hoping this plant room can get cold in regards to 59 degrees, 60 degrees Fahrenheit, usually when it's really cold. And I'm hoping that the drop in temperature would get her to bloom. That is my other reasoning behind it, but I love this plant so much. She's just very unique and very different than all the other plants that I have. Back when I purchased this plant, it was a hard Hoya to find. I had to search a lot of Etsy shops to find her. And now I think the Hoya linearis are readily available now, but back when I was buying this, it's hard to find. So I'm excited for her. My second, okay. Okay, so I did talk about this plant last month for a little bit. I am going to feature this as my plant highlight for November because this is her new leaf. This is the Alocasia zebrina, and since I moved her to no drainage, I got 2 new leaves, and this is how big they are. I cannot believe it. When I first started buying different plants to collect, I purchased this one, not knowing anything about alocasias, and it did not do well with me. It died back all the way to a corm, and I thought I lost it. So I just put this corm back when I wasn't even taking photos or videos of my plants. I put the corm in perlite in one of my small IKEA cabinets, and I was hoping for the best. It took about 3 or 4 months. I did regrow a leaf from that corm, and I tried different methods. I did soil, I did leca, but nothing seemed to work until I went to no drainage. So this is no drainage is here to stay, and yeah, This is just a beautiful. Look how deep that veining is. I'm excited to see the other leaf that's going to come out, what that's going to look like. I have been looking at this plant every day, check for spider mites. I've been spraying her. If I see anything, I spray her even when she doesn't have anything. I just want to continue making sure she doesn't get, I just don't want her to get spider mites. The leaves are pretty thick, but I'm not sure if spider mites are prone to this type of alocasia. I don't want to take a chance. I'm just going to continue to look after her. I know that there is another leaf soon to come out over here. Can't really see that, but something is happening right there. This is a happy and thriving plant. Okay, the third favorite for the month is my Thanksgiving cactus. There's a story behind it. When I was thinking about getting into the plant hobby, I visited a coffee shop and they had tons of plants. And I was talking to the girl about plants that I have and I didn't know how to care for them. She gave me some tips. I saw a Thanksgiving cactus there as I was talking to her, and I was telling her how that plant is beautiful. What was the name of it? I wish it was for sale because they had little cuttings for sale at the coffee shop. She gave me a cutting from that plant that I saw, and here is the plant today. This is on its second round of blooms for me this fall, and I'm excited to see that happen. I did have to put the plant in a dark spot for a few weeks for it to bloom, the first set of blooms, since it's in the kitchen. But yeah, this is very special to me because of where it started. And look how much it's grown since I got it. I think I got this plant in 2022. I want to repropagate it into this pot next year. Oh wow. I recently repotted it and look at all the roots that just grew out of nowhere. I had it in a smaller pot and I finally decided to give it a repot before fall. And that was a good choice. So yeah, look at this. I love it. I love seeing this plant, and it's more than just the look of the plant, it's the history, what was behind of me getting this plant. It's very special to me and dear. So for this month, it's really tested me because this was the month I was treating every plant for spider mites. And I feel I have it under control. I hope I didn't just eat my words, but this morning I found some webbing on some anthuriums, and I didn't just treat these plants once. What I'm going to just forever do is every month do a thorough clean out and spray down for every plant that I have, just because I just don't want to lose the plants that I have in here, because the plants that I have in here are plants that I like, because a few months ago I purged some plants. I got rid of some plants. So the plants that I do choose to have in here, I like, and I don't want to lose them. I'm going to be doing this spider mite treatment every month and giving the plants that I know that were having problems a look over every few days. I might just spray it. I've been spraying with something called spider mite control. It is it's a horticultural spray. I'm also using Captain Jack's Dead Bug Brew, and I'm also using SNS 209. I am watering my plants with this every time I water. This is my new thing to combat spider mites. And this actually helps thrips as well, fungus gnats. So, I mean, this is going to be my new thing for every watering and just to spray down. So I am determined to get this spider mite issue under control. I don't want the challenge of having spider mites to make me feel that I'm not good at plant care. I want to overcome it. I want the plants to get better. I'm also going to be doing some research on how to get a plant to fight off spider mite even on its own before I even see it coming. If you know anything or have research on that, I'd love to know. I am going to be doing my own research to finding out if I can make a plant stronger to combat pest even before I see it. So that is something that I'm going to be looking into in the future. Now for the bad news of the plant room, and this part I did not capture any video, I think because I was so mad. I was mad, so I just didn't take any video. I didn't do any reels. I didn't do anything. I've lost my Calathea TriStar. I had 2 plants, and the reason why I had 2 is because I recently bought a plant earlier this year, I think in January, and the reason behind that was to combine both plants into one to get a fuller plant. Well, I never got to do that because I just been battling spider mites, and that was one of the plants that had a spider mites as well. In my pest treatment that I was doing earlier this month that I did not capture on camera as well, because I just wanted to get it done and I was just focused. I just to record something and to get something on video can take a lot of time, and I just really wanted to get it done. So I discovered a heavy spider mite infestation on that plant. So I put it in the bathroom, in our guest bathroom, and I sprayed it down. I sprayed it every day with a mixture of this horticultural soap, alcohol, and water, and Captain Jack's, but they kept coming back. So I finally decided Friday night last week, I just threw it in the trash. And I think the plant pots are still in the tub, but the plants are not. And my husband decomposed of the plants for me. I had ideas to do a reel of tossing it into the forest, but I just wanted to be that out of my mind. So I decided that this next year I will not buy any more calatheas at all. I do have a rattlesnake calathea, and that's doing fine. No spider mites, so weird. But that's the only calathea I have, and that's it. No more. When I do decide to get them, it will be when I'm ready. Every calathea I've had, except for the rattlesnake calathea, have had spider mites, and I'm just done. Okay, so a couple of my plants took a hit this month too. Right now, the one of the plants that took a hit was my heartleaf fern. This plant was thriving and doing so well, and I moved it to more light, and that was the end of deep green leaves. And right now, basically only a few of even the ones that are deep green have a fungal issue. So I'm going to be cutting this plant all the way back. I moved it to this cabinet at the very bottom of the cabinet where there's less light, and it dried up because not enough humidity. Apparently it needs to be in 100% humidity. So I moved it back, I watered it, and I moved it back into this setup that I have it in, and I had a lid on it, and it's back to lush leaves, but I'm gonna have to cut them back. So this plant took a hit this month. And the other plant that seemed to have taken a hit was my Pilea dark chocolate. Again, with more light. I thought if I were to give this plant more light, it would grow better. No, the leaves they're getting kind of burnt and faded. I'm not really too happy about that. I mean, if you look at these leaves comparing to some of the like darker leaves, not happy about that. I moved it immediately when I saw that to a north, like my north window right here. And I might even move it to a darker light situation. I do enjoy having like a dark plants. So not happy, but this plant, hopefully it'll recover in spring, and I'm sure it will recover in spring. I know it will. So the other bad news that's going on is that I purchased 2 bags of soil, 2 Fox Farm bags, and it came with fungus gnats. Now, I was in the middle of repotting when I found this problem, And I thought, oh, it's probably just a few fungus gnats. No. I repotted. I have a little Hoya farm setup going on here. And I repotted some of my new Hoyas that I have in this mix. And yeah, I lost a lot of leaves. Yeah, I've lost, I mean, look, I'm losing. I'm still losing. Um, yeah, I don't know. I am kind of upset about this because I don't want to lose any of my Hoyas that I have, these new ones that I purchased. And they were all cuttings that I was trying to propagate. Hopefully is going to recover. I did treat the plant with SNS 209. The soil that have the fungus gnats, I do have it separated. I'm actually going to possibly do a YouTube video on it. I'm going to bake it. I shared this story on Instagram, and someone said to put it in a container in the cold outside. So I'm gonna try the two methods. I'm definitely gonna bake it. I'm baking it. I'm gonna bake that sucker because I cannot throw a bag of soil away and purchase a new one. I cannot afford that. So we're gonna have to treat it and see if I can combat the situation. For good news in the plant room, there was another bag of soil that I found in the basement. Can you hear my dog barking? I've transitioned all of my Hoyas except for one out of stratum. I had some of my Hoyas growing in stratum, and they have now been moved to soil. So I'm excited about that better soil. I found another Fox Farm soil bag in the basement that I had a remainder of from my last stash that I completely forgot about that had no fungus gnats in there. So I'm finishing that bag until I treat the other bag. So all my Hoyas are moved to soil but one. There was one Hoya that I found that had some root rot, and I moved it to stratum to see if I can combat it. So yay, I'm looking forward to seeing some of my Hoyas grow, because when I feel like for me, my Hoyas do really well in soil versus pond or even stratum or leca. What is your experience with growing Hoyas and pond? I have to do some more research on that. The next one is going to be part of what's up and coming in December. So I moved my plants from the living room that was there into the guest bedroom so I can make room for, let me show you. I had plants right here, but I've cleared the space out and I've moved my plants. I moved my plants to the guest bedroom right over here. I also have some plants on against the window because I purchased this. It is a 20-gallon aquarium that I'm going to be setting up as a terrarium in the living room as a display with some terrarium plants and some bugs, exciting bugs. So that is some exciting things going on in the plant room for next month. I'm excited about this. I have a few weeks off work. So during that time, I'll be able to do some research and get some things that I need to get it together. So hopefully, I want to say January or February, I'll be able to fully put everything together. First, I got to come up with an idea of how I want it set up. I'm definitely going to be making a YouTube video on this. I am going to also be transitioning more plants to no drainage. I know I was supposed to do this month, but with the Spider-Mite situation, I did not get a chance to. So I'll be doing that this month. I'm excited about it because I will be doing a YouTube video on that as well. More things that's up and coming in December is I'm going to be making some plant themed Christmas gifts and shipping them out to my friends, and I'll be doing a video on that. Look out for that. It's going to be a very fun video of me trying to make some crafts that I've never made before. That's it for my plant favorites and monthly recap video. I'm looking forward to making next month's video, and please let me know what's going on in your plant room. What did you find challenging? Any highs? Any exciting news? Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week.